Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Mary again with another tip. Today's video we are going to be talking about baggage, all thing baggage, okay? So when it comes to baggage, different airlines charge different fees for baggage. And I do have a couple that I want to mention. The cheapest for baggage is $30 for the first bag, $40 for the second bag. And that's with Delta Airlines, American Airlines, and Alaska Airlines. And then the other two that are $35 for the first bag and $45 for the second bag, that's with United Airlines and JetBlue. Now, when it comes to baggage, first thing I wanted to mention is mostly what you're allowed to bring. I wanted to talk about carry-on baggage first because those are the questions that I get a lot. When it comes to what you can bring on your carry-on baggage, that's not up to the airline, okay? Because when you have your carry-on and you get to the airport, they're not even opening that carry-on baggage and looking through any of it at all. So you want to make sure if you have any questions with what you can bring on your carry-on baggage, what's allowed and what's not allowed, you want to call TSA. And you can also go on their website, which is www.tsa.gov. And there's a box at the top where it just says, can I bring my? And then you put in the box whatever you're thinking of bringing, and it'll pretty much tell you if it's allowed or if it's not allowed. Now, when it comes to carry-on baggage, I can tell you if it's liquids or gels, you are only allowed 3.4 ounces or less. And there are some exceptions, and when it comes to exceptions, I'm talking about breast milk, formula for your baby, water that you're going to use to make your baby bottles on board if you need to, okay? Again, they will need to test it, so just give yourself enough time to go through security. Most of the times they will, if it's a bottle of water or formula or breast milk, sometimes they'll take it out and they'll test it to make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary. So give yourself enough time there. The other thing is, if you're bringing any kind of deodorant, again, that's considered gel, so you want to bring the smaller size of 3.4 ounces or less. If it's any bigger than that, I would suggest putting it in your checked baggage. So any kind of deodorant sprays, any kind of deodorant sticks that has liquid in it, they will also require 3.4 ounces or less, or else they'll toss it if it's more. And if you don't have a checked bag and no one to give it to, they will unfortunately toss it. So just keep that in mind before you go to the airport. And the other thing I wanted to mention is when it comes to bringing medication on your carry-on, as long as it's a doctor prescribed, again, you want to make sure you have it either in the pharmacy box labeled, or you have a prescription for it that you can bring and say, hey, you know what, these are prescribed medications for myself. When it comes to prescription medication, however, please don't bring weed. From what I was told as a reservation supervisor, because I had this question before and I kind of did some digging, excuse me, there are only about 10 people in the whole US that are allowed to bring medical marijuana on board, and they have, I guess they are vetted by the government. With that being said, I don't care if your marijuana is prescribed or not. Don't bring it, because unfortunately you will be walking out of that airport in handcuffs. It is illegal to still bring it to the airport, even if it is prescribed or even if it is medical marijuana or so have you. Don't bring it to the airport at all, please. Calling the airline, they're not going to be able to make any kind of exceptions. TSA is not going to be able to make any kind of exceptions. It's just the law. Aside from medication, when it comes to carry-on baggage, it does have to be small enough to fit in the overhead bin. So if you're bringing a carry-on and you're shoving everything that you're going to need for your vacation or your work visit with you, just make sure it's able to fit in the overhead bin, because once you get on board and you try to put that carry-on in the bin and it doesn't fit, they are going to make you check it, and you are looking at a fee right there, which also could cause you excuse me, cause you to miss your flight. They could deplane you. Anything can happen. So please, please, please make sure the carry-on fits over the in the overhead. I'm sorry. And typically the overhead dimensions is 14. I have to double check that. Moving on to checked baggage. Checked baggage typically is 50 pounds or less if you do not want to incur any overweight fees. It's 50 pounds or less and 62 linear inches. So when you add the length, width, and height, all three of those must be 62 linear inches or less. If it's more than that, unfortunately, some airlines do not take oversized bags. Other airlines do take them, but they charge you for oversized bag. And let me tell you, overweight bags cost 3 times as much as it would if you just took a second bag. So if your bag is going to be more than 50 pounds, please get another suitcase, anything you can bring with you and check, and put the other items in there. Because a second bag, let's just say with American Airlines, it's $40. If you're looking at overweight bag, we're talking about $150. Please don't do that to yourself. Make sure you do your homework before you get to the airport. As far as checked bags, there's not a limit of how much liquid or gels you can put in there. Again, it just cannot it cannot exceed that weight limit or the size limit. So there's a lot more leeway when it comes to what you can put in your checked bag. There are some airlines that do not allow boxes as checked bag. Again, that's something you also want to take a look at. We've had people go to the airport with boxes and then they end up having to go to the duty free and buy a luggage. And you know how expensive those things can be at the airport. So you also want to double check that. If you're bringing any kind of TVs, bicycles, anything that's out of the order, anything that's not a suitcase pretty much, you want to call the airline as well. They are, some of them are considered fragile items, which is like a TV. They'll have you sign like a form that says they're not liable, unfortunately, if it breaks. So if you're going to bring a TV, make sure you put extra paddings in there. The employees do, especially if you put fragile on there, they will do everything they can not to throw or push those boxes, but you never know. Put extra padding in there if it's TV, if it's anything that may break. Just so you cover those bases. As far as TVs, I know it is not within the normal guideline for the 50 pounds, 62 linear inches. So every airline is different in that case. They may charge you more to transport the TV. Bicycles, the same thing. When it comes to sporting equipments, though, the majority of sporting equipments are considered normal baggage. For example, for skiing, it'll include like a skiing boot. All of the equipments that you will need will be considered as one bag. In that case, they may not hold you to the 50-pound weight limit or the 62 linear inch size limit. Also, just look into that. If there's a specific airline that you want me to dig into, if about anything that I'm talking about, I can definitely do that. I have a different system that can help me look into things like this for you. So if you have any questions that'll help you before you get to the airport, just to make your travels a lot easier, let me know in the comment section below, and I will definitely, again, anything else that you guys want me to talk about when it comes to TSA, what can you bring, what can you not bring. If you want me to dive deeper into that, I definitely can. I just need to know what you guys want to hear from me. Again, I did not think I would ever make YouTube videos. I am terrified to sit here in front of the camera and talk to you guys. So bear with me when I'm stumbling, okay? I did not think I would ever make YouTube videos. I'm terrified. But on every day when I'm working, I get a lot of people who call, they're at work scrambling, trying to get to, from work to the airport, onto their plane, into their, and to their destination. So when I hear these questions, I'm thinking, why not? You know what? I can make videos. I can talk about what people want to hear. That way, it's a one-stop shop. You can come here, look at my playlist. Whatever question you have, go to that video, and then bam, you have your answers. So if you guys have anything that you want me to talk about, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to do a video for you. And if you want me to give you tips based on, how you can get cheaper rates, if you can give me any ideas of what you want me to talk about, I will do that. So next video, I will be talking about frequent flyer. And what I mean by that is earning points with airlines, how to use those points with airlines, what not to do with those points. Because again, most people think those points are useless, like you can get a free trip from them. Please don't do that. Watch out for my next video. I will definitely be talking about how you can utilize those points, what you can do to get those points, how you can accumulate those points faster, and what the best way is to use them. Thank you again for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and turn on that notification bell. You do not want to miss any of the information that I do have for you. You guys have a wonderful day and stay safe.